G'day guys, it's Jake here. Nothing in this video is financial advice. Please do your own research when it comes to investing. Please sure check out my links below, including exchanges I use and social media content that I post. All right, let's go. Okay, so welcome to another video. And I did make one yesterday or day before. I tried to make one on the Friday, but it didn't work. Unfortunately, I had some tech issues, which I've solved, hopefully, and we should be good right from now. So we'll get going and we'll just talk about mostly Bitcoin and the crypto market. And yeah, what we're sort of seeing on Twitter and sentiment gauges, and is this cycle over? Or are we preparing for the next phase up? So we'll look at some things to see where we are and enjoy. So first up, from post from Max Crypto. So I'll read it out. Nearly 20 billion in Bitcoin short positions is sitting around 110,000 and 126,000. The funding rate has flipped negative despite Trump saying that the US will do fine with China. This is what called a bear euphoria, and I think the whales will hunt these short positions. So he's predicting, or based on this liquidation data, we can zoom in on it. Probably won't get the whole screen. I hope we do, but we probably won't get it all in. Is all this yellow stuff, all this deep yellow, is sort of the heavy liquidity here for the short positions to fill up. And you can see we're down here and we've basically filled all this liquidity. There's not much left. If you do come back down, it's a very small portion compared to above it. Obviously, there's more above it than below it. So we want to see this get cleared, which means bullish. It's a good thing for markets. It's a great thing to clear out all that leverage in the short side of things, and the cascading short positions will lead to a short squeeze in the price of Bitcoin. So that's what we want to see. Definitely want to see Willy Wonka smiling away as this occurs. So definitely something to look out for, and a great tweet and pointing out that there's a lot of leverage out there still. Because you never get rid of it all. You can't get rid of it completely. There's too many longs, too many shorts, and the longs are being wrecked. So this big wick here that occurred October 10th, that was all the longs getting wrecked. And the shorts, it's their turn to get brutalised. So hopefully that happens. So we'll go to the next one. So the next tweet is by a person, we can't see his name up there. What I'll do is there you go. He's there. Cole Garner. Tether dominance bottom. These signals are rarely wrong. Okay. So what he's suggesting here is this is bullish for Bitcoin when this gets in the green. I'm saying this is sort of topping out. I'd say tether dominance top, not bottom. I'd say it's topping out, not bottoming out. Because this is the price of Bitcoin, and every time these green shades have appeared, and this sort of metric's gone above this red line, upper part of the red line, as you can see here, that marks, basically turning points of Bitcoin. Not exactly perfect. Like here was bad made, didn't work very well. Went a bit lower into June, and then happened again in September 2023, and then 2024 January. It happened here and here in whatever that was April 2024, and then July. It happened a couple of times here, and then you got into August, September time frame. August, happened here at the top before the big crash here. Happened again here in March 2025, and then June, July, and recently September, and that sort of dip in late September, October, and then here we are here. So it's occurring again, which is a bullish thing, guys. This is great to see. This has been pretty consistent from 2023 to now, and we'll just have to wait and see how this goes out. And there's your indicator right there, your Caldwell scope, academic intel. So thanks for that. There's a free indicator for you, just Gab. So thanks Cole Garner for that one, and we're on the next one. So this is a video I want to share with you guys about what Arthur Hayes says. There's Lisa, this tweet. There is no more 4-year cycle. We're in an extended cycle, new world order. I'm in the opinion that it ends when the Trump administration ends 2027 to 2028. So he's saying this bull run will continue until 2027, 2028, which quite sounds absurd. It does sound really, really absurd. And you can make up your own mind what you think of it. And I'm not going to bash on him, but I disagree with him. Okay, I think we're going to top out next year, sometime early next year, but not by 2027. It's going to be way too late. It'll be bear market by then. So I disagree. But anyway, watch this video and make up your own mind about what you think.
Trillions of dollars of home equity that is basically sitting dormant on the balance sheet of the American public and their housing market, and Trump is going to lower mortgage rates. However he does it, there's various ways to do it, to unlock that money to then go into financial markets or buy a house, buy a car, but whatever. Trump is talking about stimulus checks. China, which has been in essentially on and off deflation in terms of credit growth over the last few years, is making noise that they want to revitalize the housing market. Will it be as crazy as 2015? No, but it won't be as bad as it's been post-COVID. So this cycle is different than the last three. If you want to take a look at Chinese credit and U.S. credit, which leads me to say there is no 4-year cycle, at least right now. And so we are in sort of a extended cycle, whatever you want to call it, new world order, change in, trade situation, whatever, right? And so I am of the opinion that this cycle ends when the Trump administration ends, because it'll be a reaction against Trump, whether you like it or not, doesn't really matter. And, that's a 2028, late 2027 story when the rhetoric of the opposing Team Blue Democrats starts to cause questions in investors' minds. Oh, what if they win? And therefore, what if things change? Therefore, maybe I should take some chips off the table.
So he's playing politics now. He's thinking politics have a big say in what this cycle does. And stimulus checks coming out again from Trump, which he did say the tariff income that they're going to be redistributing some money from that, which is all just made up money anyway. It's money that they've already paid, these taxpayers already paid. They just get the basic tax refund. That's all it is. On extra increases in prices they're paid to the government, the extra tariff tax, So it's just consumers getting back some of their money. So it's not really new money coming in. It's just money getting refunded, essentially, the taxpayer. So I don't want to be a hater on all of it. Just wanted to point it out that, Crypto Hayes, or Arthur Hayes, we're going to call him, he's getting swept away by politics. And that's not what you do in crypto. It doesn't matter which Democrat or Republican. Bitcoin's gone up and to the right, and it's logarithmic channel, and it's been the best performing asset in the last 15, 20 years. So nothing's come close to it. And and it doesn't matter what president's in charge. It doesn't stop it. It doesn't matter what trade war, what economic policy, or environment. Bitcoin charges on. It's an absolutely brutal asset. It's here to stay, in my opinion. I think it's proven itself. It's been around long enough. And having ETFs around, it solidifies its legitimacy. So I disagree with this guy, and don't think it's going to last this long. Next year, at the latest, that's my opinion. Sort of mid next year is the dead latest, but early next year, depending on what happens with retail coming back, and the Fed monetary policy is really crucial. And if QE comes back, and all that sort of stuff, and you want to see altcoins that perform Bitcoin. So that's not happening at the moment. It's a bit of stagnancy, dormancy, but we'll get there at the end. Now, another thing to look at is quickly fear and greed, and we're at 29, so we're fearful. Okay, so given the environment we're in, this makes sense. And as you can see, yesterday was 23, it was worse, and then last week was 24, and then neutral for the month, last month. And go to the timeline here, and you can see we are going down, but we are sort of finding a bottom here, which is quite nice. 24, 22, 23, October 18th, and we've carved out a bit of a low here. Will this continue higher, or just have one more spike down before, and then we go higher? Anything's possible. Stay down here for basically 11th to the night. So it's only a week down here. It's not too bad, but it's a sentiment at the moment. It's fearful. You can hear on Twitter. You can just see it. It's bad. It's really bad. And when you look at these bad conditions in amongst of a bull market, it's certainly a time to go bullish, to flip the sentiment on your favour, because what Byron Buffett says it's pretty true. It rings very true, and it will ring true for the sands of long as time exists and long as humans are trading markets. That you buy when others are fearful and you sell when others are greedy. Okay, so you're buying in fear. So we're going to the social metrics now from the Cryptoverse, and I'll get rid of this. That's nice full screen mode. Okay, and look where we are. We're down here at 0.0194. So pretty bad, pretty low. There's no retail. Absolutely, but basically near zero as you can possibly get. Obviously, we're at zero and sort of late August time frame here, all the way to get to early October and start to pick up again. But yeah, we're basically dead. See zero here, but for a good over a month, it's just pretty bad. So 0, 0, 0. But we're finally getting off that 0 point and making some interest. But interest is very, very small. It's nothing like we got when Trump got elected here. And you got to sort of 0.4 above that level. And then that early 2024 meme coin run, and that was pretty bad, that one. So I'm pretty bad with euphoria, I should say. I'm not saying bad for crypto, it's saying pretty heated. And even that heat, we only got to 0.4. So, that's still nothing compared to where we get to in the very heights of the bull market. And, you get to these 0.8, 0.9 levels. That's where you want to see it, up here, to find that we're at the top. Okay, so 0.8, 0.9, 2017 and 2021. And same here, this secondary peak in 2021. We're nowhere near that. We're nowhere near. It's not... There's no question about it. We are so still early in this run. Not going to what RVA says until 2027, 28. Not that early. We're a bit later, further into the cycle than that, of course. But we'll see some momentum soon and start to pick up again because it needs to get going. This takes time. Or we get something like this, which went absolutely bananas, parabolic, or a gradual, steady increase like it did in 2017. In this period here, went from 0.179 in October that year, and then boom, didn't take long to get to February, and then it's basically 5 months later, and look where we were, boom, above the 0.8 level. So this could take time. This could take until mid next year. It really could take 6 months, but it's not going to take until 2027, 2028. Okay. Not going to happen. But at the latest, I'd say probably Q2, Q1 at the earliest, Q2 at the latest. That's it. But you really got to get going now. Otherwise, I'm not saying hurry up and going, but you just got to wait and react to the data as it comes in. And look, the more time we got, the better chance, that we have in accumulating more money in these projects and getting more exposure. So you've got more time to do so. So that's the good thing, the way you look at this, okay? Being such a low rating, we've got so much time to accumulate. So we aren't late in the cycle. We are still early. If you're looking at altcoins, with Bitcoin, obviously it's definitely, he missed this run up from, obviously January 2023 to now, and it was at basically 15K-ish, all the way up to where it is now, 106. So you've missed a big run in Bitcoin, but in the altcoin market, you have not missed out on anything. So you're still very, very early. So, yeah, depending on what market you're looking at, obviously, if you overlay the price of Ethereum now, and look, Ethereum's still up here at 3.8K, and the bottoms are around $1,000. So even back here, when the tariff scares, 1,500 got to. Look, you're sort of late into ETH as well with Bitcoin, but the altcoin's definitely still early. All right, onto the stablecoin supply ratio with the Bollinger Bands included. And you can see here, we're currently touching the lower part of the Bollinger Band. So every time we touch it, you can see here, Bitcoin's price in orange and the stablecoin supply ratio in red. Go below it, come back above it, see that? And then marks the low for Bitcoin goes higher. One's at top, goes back below it, Bitcoin goes down. It goes below it and has a little spike up and goes a little bit lower, touches it, finds a low Bitcoin, goes higher and goes down again, down to the lower bands. And guess what happened? Found a low in Bitcoin, went higher. and then it got to it again. It went below it, went above it, the green line, and then that found a low for Bitcoin in October, September time frame, and then October, and then boom, there was your parabolic phase, and then got to the overheated section, came back down, found this little top here, but actually went higher than that. All right, and we came above it again here in February, then went back down, and then we found a sort of a local top here before this metric went lower, went to this lower part in this mid-year, and then we came out of the green, and we found a low of Bitcoin, went higher, and then went above this upper Bollinger Band, so went lower. Found a low here in 2022, boom, went a bit higher. That was a low, marked a low of Bitcoin, went higher. All right. Found a low here in June 2022, and after that, broke above that lower band and got out of it, this rut. Found a low for Bitcoin rallied for a bit longer, and then went lower, unfortunately, and never went down to this band until went above, overheated, corrected, and went sort of stayed above it for a while until it went down below the green band, and then found a local top Bitcoin, went with a correction there. The spot ETF was launched, went higher into the March top, and then it went below it. There's your top Bitcoin. And you just wait. You get to these periods here where you actually got to September, we went below it again, okay, and then we went above it. There's your low for Bitcoin, went higher, into the January peak, went above this band, broke below it, there's your top, and then boom. And it's actually just tariff here that happened in April. Didn't touch it, didn't get to the band. So it didn't happen here, but happened here in September 24, and went higher and didn't go to the top part. But currently, this is what's interesting. So we are at the lower Bollinger Band now. We are below it, and we want to see this durably break above it. And that'll be like the low for Bitcoin, in my opinion. So this could be to take a bit of time before this happens, but we are there. We are at the lows. This is where you want to be accumulating, not folding now. So yeah, very, very interesting. They were so close to a reversal and a final move up, I think, for Bitcoin. So yeah, very exciting. Now we'll go on to the price. Okay, so onto the price now, and on the 3-day time frame we're sitting at 106,385, and looks like we're forming a bearish candle, unfortunately. This should really go a bit lower. It's not a great thing to say, but we're so close. This is like literally, I've drawn this line, and it's basically a downward sloping bullish channel, essentially. So as it touches this channel, and the highs as well. So this is like a megaphone pattern, essentially, a widening, broadening wedge where it widens, and it zigzags up and down. They get bigger, the moves get bigger, and this is actually considered, after it's gone up like this, considered a bullish pattern. So this will inevitably break to the upside. I do see this going a lot higher. I'm not going to give you price predictions for this video. It's not a price predictions video, but I'm just saying this pattern here is quite bullish. And yeah, this looks inevitably coming to playing out very soon. So just be patient. I just see this candle, to wait for it to form and do what it wants to do. But the reason I say it looks bearish and going down is the 50-week moving average. Now, currently we are sitting at, over top of it, 101,758. If I go on the weekly time frame, because it is a weekly moving average, so you're going to look at the weekly, see any differences, and it's the same. Okay, so there's no difference between the 3-day and the weekly. Sometimes there's a lag, so you look at that lag, and yeah, it's the same. So that's good. Sometimes it's back here. It's not up to date. But given the 3-day close today, it's forming a new candle on the 3-day time frame, you expect it to be catching up to the weekly, and there we are. So we're getting close to this moving average. This is the last line of defense for it. So we're only approximately 4% away. All right, we can wick lower. We can go a little bit lower. All right, it's a wick. We don't want to close a weekly candle below it. All right, so you want to see just a nice wick like this, like here. So I'll just draw, be easier. Back in August and September, we wicked it and didn't go below it. And we also wicked here in April 2025. Okay, so tariff here. If you get to it again, don't be surprised it happens. We could wick and sort of fake it out, go low, and then there you go. That'll be it for me, and I think we're going to go higher from there. Didn't come to it in 2023. You got close, but didn't touch it. But see the bull market support band. I go the weekly time frame, and did close below it. We never touched the 50-week moving average. All right, so that's something to note. And when it breaks below, it usually goes and retests it eventually. It didn't at this stage, so quite interesting. It actually didn't touch it, so maybe it won't touch the 50-week. Everyone's anticipating it will, and never goes there. So that could play it as well. Anything's possible, But it was so close to it. This thing, by the time it closes tomorrow, the weekly candle will close. We should get a higher reading, somewhere around over 102,000. Okay, 102,500, somewhere around there. That makes it close to price. So the higher, it'll keep climbing, which is a good thing, and then price will meet it eventually. So that is that. And we could come back and retest it, but it's not a guarantee. All right, so that's that one there. Then I'll get rid of the drawings. So that's that. Looking at that moving average, as we are closing below the 20-week SMA and 21-week EMA, which is the bull market support band. We do get a weekly close. It's likely we do get the 50-week, but not a guarantee. All right, so like I said, we're at this downward sloping trend line here, which has acted as support once or twice now, coming off these highs to these lows. So this looks bullish. Okay, if I go back on the daily time, I'm going to daily time frame now. Look at something interesting, and we'll get rid of this bull market support band, and we'll look at daily time frame. So I want to really show you is the RSI. Now, we are so close to the oversold level. It's not funny. So every time we get this oversold level, we got it here. We got really close here, very, very close. All right. And then we got this bounce, which is bullish. We got to it back in the tariff scare. We went oversold, went green. And then what happened? Went higher. So that was your low. Happened here. All right. There's your low in March. We got a short-term bounce, all right? So you got a reaction of it. We got it again here in March. And what happened? I'll draw a better drawing. It went higher. So everyone lead to a bounce, okay? Each time it led to a bounce. And then we go to back before this in August 2024. This week down. There's your RSI, and it went higher, all right? That was your low. That was your dead low. It didn't go any lower than that one. And it happened here again and diverged. Well, it shows divergence on here, but it's not divergence. If you don't count the week, it is divergence. So it did have a candle that closed slightly, like double bottom. Essentially, it's a double bottom pattern. Okay. And there it is again. What happened? Went higher. Okay. So RSI daily time frame, pretty powerful. Happened here in June 2024 and July 2024. There we go. Went higher. This went lower, unfortunately. So it was a false one there. Happened again in April 2024. Into May, I should say. Into the 1st of May. There you go. There you go. So the daily RSI is pretty powerful, And it sort of touched it here back in January 2024. As you can see, just touched it. And what happened there? Boom. There's your massive rally. That was humongous rally, that one. And you can go back even further. The point I'm trying to make, there it is there, in 2023. There's your lows, and then went higher. And you go back further and further, further. Maybe just got one more. 2023 here in March. And there you go. So it's not, I'm not saying it's perfect. Like has had some false signals like I did here in June, and we went lower. Okay, so that's a possibility that happens. But look, nevertheless, it was near the low anyway and went higher. So that's the main thing to note. It is pretty accurate. And we are like really how close we are. Like we're literally not that far. We touched here, got to 30.6 or something like that. So RSI, if I zoom into it, you can see where it got to. It got to 30.6, there it is there. We can sort of trickle down a little more and touch it and then go higher, hopefully. But only time will tell if that plays out or not. But This will correspond. It should correspond with a low in Bitcoin. All right, somewhere around here. And then we go higher. I want this to be ended and over and done with. I just want this to be done and dusted. And then we go higher and we have fun. But at the moment, it's not fun. It's boring. Sucks. We're going down. And the sentiment shows it. And Twitter shows it. And YouTube and everywhere you look, it's just bad sentiment. And the RSI is down here. So that was one I just wanted to show you there. And look at some other indicators too. We go back to the 3-day time frame, my favorite time frame. And where are we? The MACD is bearish, unfortunately. So we need to cross back bullish again on the MACD. So we are bearish. All right, we need to see some sort of bullish cross occur, and then we can go and celebrate. But at the moment, not happening. We're still bearish. Okay, so that's the MACD. Still heading lower. No confirmation of that one. Another one is the risk metric. And we are at 35. So nearly in this green zone, this 30 level and below. I'm not saying it will go to the 30. It might not get there. It might get there, but not go below it. All right, it might not go below it. It might just touch it and then go higher. And then we go on to the end of the cycle where we go to this 90 level. And that's where your top will most likely be. I'm not betting on this going down to here. Then it's really more or less the MACD that I'm looking at. This MACD here, crossing bullish, is more what I'm sort of favouring. It's more predictable and it's just easy to sort of see. I'll just sort of mark out some MACD crosses. MACD cross there. Went a little lower, but then ultimately went higher, okay? There's your low there in sort of March time frame. It also marked a low, this MACD here, but it did go a bit lower there. Then cross bullish again here, and then went higher, okay? And then you got MACD cross here. Boom, bullish. A MACD cross here, bullish. So I like the MACD. It's my favourite, okay? So the MACD, and you combine it with this risk metric. When it goes green, it works really well. So it goes green, like bounce, eventually, and then happened here again in April. So this could go into the 30 level and below, and that'll be nice. Great entries, like amazing entries. So yeah, that happens, fantastic. If it doesn't happen and it doesn't get to the green, like I said, and it curls back now, so it's going higher, even better. So that is today's analysis for Bitcoin. And if we look at ETH real quickly, and we'll probably wrap the video up, just those two I think is important. So look at MACD as we go down here, getting close to this oversold level. MACD, this is much cleaner than Bitcoin. This looks very, very clean. And you can see that we're nearly there, and we'll start curling over this MACD. This will be nice and bullish and beautiful, I think. Terrible drawing, of God, horrible. But yeah, you can see this MACD cross like this, beautiful cross. Went a little lower, but went higher, okay? So, a nice cross here. Bam. There's your marks your low, goes higher. Happened back here in 2023. There it is, there's your bullish cross. Boom. So yeah, you want to see this occur, nice, beautiful curl up, and that's it. And that'll be a low for ETH, Bitcoin. We can cut back down. There's plenty of room to move here and consolidate sideways if these metrics catch up. Plenty of time. Don't rush in these markets. Just accumulate, DCA, have your own strategy, and let's wait for things to play up. Now I forgot about the RSI on the 3-day time frame. It's bearish just going on. We'll go to the daily RSI and see that we are looking at a divergence here. This divergence pattern, things keep pointing. Divergence here, all right? And we did bounce from that divergence, and we came back lower again. So this keeps diverging higher. So it's showing momentum is increasing to the upside, which is good to see. Fantastic to see. When I said for ETH, even if it does drop here to here and take a bit more time, okay, before going higher, all right. That's sort of what I see for that one. And you bull market support band for it. And that's where we are. We're at the bull market support band. Get rid of these drawings. And that's where we are at the moment, okay? Right here. This is a good support level with this upward sloping trend line. If I go on the logarithmic chart, you can see it is bounced off it. Nice. So there it is there, and it fell below it here. And then there we are back into it again. So this nice, beautiful upward sloping support line. And at the bull market support band, this is an absolutely beautiful setup to go higher. All right, so that's what I'm seeing is going higher and topping out next year, not 2027, 2028, but next year for Ethereum. That's pretty well it for the video. We'll get USDT dominance. This is basically the inverse of Bitcoin, and we're seeing that we are, we're close to this level here. We're close enough. A wick to it. The wick here. The wick. That's it for me. That is. I'm not saying it's going any higher than that. That's the bottom for me. As it's touched here in April 25, here in August 2024, went slightly above it here in September 2023. All right, and June 2023, and started in October 2022. So this beautiful line of touched it every single time is marked a low for Bitcoin. Okay, this is the inverse of Bitcoin. This top out and go lower. And that's bullish for the crypto Bitcoin. All right, so you might consolidate a bit longer and then drop. All right, I'm not saying this will play out straight away and drop now. It could take some time before we then catch up and then get this upwards sloping trend line here, as you can see in January, in August, and then we'll come back down again, and then maybe we'll get a little bounce and then drop, and then we'll see until we break this support line at 3.8%, and then go down. All right, and that's your old season right there. Okay, but not there yet, guys. Not there yet. It's got some time yet to get to this level, but that's USDT dominance, and that is the video. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this one. Just going over a fair bit of stuff, make up for the couple of days I didn't make a video. So, just seeing what's going on Twitter. People think about the current market sentiment and charts and whatnot. And, seeing sort of mixed views, bullish and bearish, but mostly it is a lot of bear calls out there. If you search yourself, you'll see a lot of bear calls and crypto. I think Mr. Capo is back calling for a little bearish drop now for Bitcoin, saying the cycle's over. We're going to drop below this upward sloping trend line, and that's it. We're done. So he's max bearish at the moment. So usually when that guy's max bearish, you go the opposite and go max bullish. So crypto Capo. But I didn't do it in this video, but you can go look him up. Capo. If you search up Capo crypto or whatever, you'll find him on Twitter. Anyway, so look at other stuff. Like social metrics are very, very low. And 0.019, I think it is. So very, very negligible, so small. So you've got plenty of time to go for that to get to the euphoric stage. At 0.8, you want to see that going above to really start taking some chips off the table. We're nowhere near that level. We're nowhere near. So we've got plenty of time left to pull on. Potentially into definitely going next year. That's what I'm seeing. Into as late as mid next year, like May timeframe, I'm seeing. Or maybe a bit earlier. It's basically Q1 to Q2. That's what I'm seeing. As social metrics really a good telling indicator that we've got plenty of time left. Another indicator to look at too is the one I showed you is the SSR, stablecoin supply ratio, with the Bollinger Bands, saying that is below the lower band. So we're at the very oversold levels, very, very as low as you want to go. And I reckon we'll get a bounce from there very shortly. So be prepared. Good time to buy now, in my opinion, but it's only my opinion. It's not financial advice. As I said at the start of this video and in my description, I'm not a financial advisor, so make up your own mind what you want to do. But it's definitely a great time to buy. Educational purposes only. So, and look at Bitcoin price, ETH price, some of the metrics, risk metric and all that, seeing it's 35 now, Bitcoin risk. So very, very low on the risk metric. And waiting on that MACD cross for ETH 3-day time frame and Bitcoin. And we should see some nice bullishness after that occurs. So until then, we'll keep you updated and assessing situation. And I'll keep making content as much as I can possibly make and update you guys and inform you. And and hope you enjoy and make your wise decisions. Follow the right people. Don't get sucked into this sentiment fear. Do your own research to really see that these things can keep going on for a long time. Okay, these bull markets and then the bear markets can also go for a long time. So you don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to have a strategy and stick to it. And it's hard. It's not easy. Otherwise, we all be millionaires, but it's not. It's not. It's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be difficult. So anyway, that's that one. And yeah, we'll call that one. So if you enjoyed the video, please smash the like. Comment your thoughts below. Subscribe and stay updated. Be sure to check out the links below. And I'll catch you next one. Cheers.